Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Okay, welcome back everyone on Think Big. I'm Effie, Dan and Qasim's one of their founders, and we've got Parker Godfrey here. So Park, if you want to introduce yourself and tell us where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name's Parker Godfrey. I'm calling from Encinitas, California. I own a sunglass brand out of Southern California called Kiaura Eyewear. You may have seen our ads with me pointing in the air like this, but that's kind of my signature to the hooks in all of our videos.
That's funny. That's good. I guess maybe Parker, if you want to tell us more about your Kiaura Eyewear brand and kind of how you got started with it.
Yeah, so we started about 2 years ago. That's like when revenue started. I started the brand actually in high school when I was like 17. After football season, I was like, what do I want to do with my life? I'm not going to go play college football. I'm not going to the NFL. So I was like, all right, what am I going to do with my life? So I was passionate about, designing and always being creative in my work. And I wanted to be creative with what I did for a living. So I started off as a clothing brand and we were selling t-shirts out of the back of my car. And I came up with the name Kiaura in high school and then got into college and continued to run it, but wasn't super passionate about it at the time. Just wanted to have the college experience and have fun. And halfway through, I ended up dropping out because I always had a passion for architecture and wanted to become an architect and use my design and my creativity towards something that I could have a career with. And then, long story short, I ended up not loving that because I realized that I couldn't, become an architect and design homes. And within 3 years, it would have taken me probably 10. So went back to college, just got my communications degree and, got my degree and could say I'm a college graduate. And then as I was graduating during COVID, I'm like, okay, what do I want to do again? And so I took my passion for architecture and design and pushed it toward a different medium of sunglasses where, you have the functionality and design as two aspects and you can tie those together and have, your creative freedom in that sense. And from there, I learned marketing. Nothing really happened for another year until I, really learned how to market a business. And it was through TikTok, which was the avenue that we went viral for the first time. And everything changed from there. So that's like the elevator pitch of my business career, I would say.
Oh, that's so exciting. I guess what was the most like during this journey, these last several years, and I know you mentioned 2 years ago when it really started taking off. What was some of like the biggest lessons you've learned?
I've definitely learned like persistence is key. And then also just becoming a student, like don't think that you know everything. The second I dropped my ego was when things started to work because I told myself, hey, look, you're not that good. You have to reach out to these people that are successful already, like, and ask them how they did it. So I would say, just being a student and instead of, as entrepreneurs, we're servants, we work for the people. And so just continue to serve people and provide as much value as you can through your product that you're selling.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm also like must have been a big learning curve, like learning how to design and all the best features for your eyewear also. Like that must have been a big learning lesson for you as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the first like version of the sunglasses we came out with was nothing compared to what it is today. It's always been constant iteration over time and just making sure that we're using the best materials that we can. When we first started, there was probably 1/5 of the amount of features that our sunglasses have today. And, continuing to innovate, make sure the product is as good as possible. So people are happy when they receive them, that's how you
Yeah,
get returning customers.
for sure. I guess can I ask how many customers have you guys sold to?
Yeah, we've sold we've had over 25,000 orders. I would in the last 2 years. That was months ago, and we've scaled pretty significantly. So I'd say probably 30 to 40,000 orders now.
Wow.
And probably, with multiple pairs in each order, probably sold over 50,000 pairs of sunglasses in the last 2 years, which is pretty insane.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's really cool. Wow. Now,
Yeah.
are you still only doing TikTok? Or are you focusing on other means to market to people?
Yeah, we like to have an omnipresence approach. So, we have Facebook, Instagram, so Meta, TikTok, Google, email, SMS. Try to just, create that funnel, that really clean, full funnel approach.
Okay, cool. And now I know also it's funny, people like to say Elon Musk, like I mean, he's obviously a brilliant genius, and obviously, but one thing with him, they forget about PayPal. He had like 10 other people. He had a whole big team working with him, other
Oh yeah.
geniuses. I guess for you, how was your journey? Like, did you start off by yourself? Did you have other people working with you?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the brand, I was sitting on a lot of inventory and I just took risk, a ton of risk, and I was about like 30, $40,000 in debt and placed a final big order of new sunglasses I designed. And I'm like, okay, this is my last go, and I'm gonna just see how I can market these. It's do or die. A lot of people don't have the, luxury of their parents being able to pay for their college. So I'm like, okay, if this doesn't work, just call it college debt and we'll get a corporate job and we'll be good. So what happened was is we went viral and I ended up selling out all my inventory and enough to
Wow.
pay off rent and then start building out a team. And the second I had enough money excess, I put everything back into the company. Hired my first media buyer, hired my email marketing guy, and just really tried to figure out how to scale the business, not relying just on organic because, it can be so up and down and
Yeah,
volatile.
for sure.
So the whole goal, I mean, since even today, like my goal is just to create an A team that, can supplement in their own way and be experts in each of their departments.
Wow, that's really
Yeah.
cool. I guess for you as a successful entrepreneur, you've got a great company. What's the typical day look like for you?
Typical day, I've delegated a lot, which is nice. But for the most part, I'm really looking at just like KPIs each day, making sure that we're hitting our numbers. On Tuesdays is when I kind of stack all my meetings so I can just, be laser focused for one day, and try to make sure that everything's being taken care of. But a typical day is, I would say, I don't like routine. That's just my personality. I hate, doing the same thing every day. But a typical day when I'm home and not traveling, I'm, waking up, grabbing a coffee, hitting the computer, buttoning things up on the operations side if, we have invoices or whatever, little things like that. And then just looking at the overall picture and making sure from a bird's eye view that everything's running smoothly.
No, of course, and that's very important. That's what the boss has to do. That's
Yeah.
great. I guess how quickly were you able to like hire I'm not sure if it's hire or partners, bring on your first employee or a partner with it.
Yeah, the second I could afford it, once, revenue excesses a certain level and you're profiting, I think, you should buy back your time if you're spending a majority of your
Yeah.
time on Facebook ads, and that's the biggest lever to scale the brand, then focus on bringing in somebody who's better than you. Because if your output is, let's say, 50% and you bring someone in and they're like 100, they're going to have their fee of, let's say, 5,000 a month. But if they're
Yeah.
generating more profit than 5,000 and you don't have to spend any time on it, that's just, gravy in your pocket.
Yeah. And one thing I'm also curious about was it's interesting how you said you designed your own it's not your own glasses or your sunglasses. I'm not sure the first type of glass
Yeah.
you had, but how did you find like a good, I guess, manufacturing place to do it? But that must be hard because I don't know. I've had a lot of cool ideas. I want to make this
Yeah.
product, and then how do you find like a good place that's not it's actually going to do a good job actually and build it?
Yeah, no, I think, I've always kind of revolved around the concept of investing in people and working with them. And that, every time you switch to a new person or a new marketing agency, you're starting from square one. I would like to be working with people that are getting better over time. And so, the manufacturer we ended up working with, we've worked with a few. I ended up going with the ones with the best samples at the beginning. And then, when we did bulk production, they made some mistakes and we had to roll with them, and it is what it is. And over time, you refine with your manufacturer, you build a relationship and things get better. But at the beginning, yeah, it was just a lot of research and finding the right people that are going to fit with your brand, and everything, will come together from there. But mostly just investing in people over time.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. I'm curious also, how did you come up with the name Kiara?
Yeah, so in high school, I was really into like meditation and Eastern philosophy. I remember when I was a sophomore, I read the book Siddhartha, and it kind of opened my eyes to
Hmm.
like meditating. And so the concept of chi, which is like your inner energy, I was watching videos of these monks all over, like the Tibetan mountains or
Oh
Tibetan.
yeah. And the orange flowing robes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But they'd sit on the top of a mountain with a cold towel around them, like in the Andes or something. And the cold, wet towel, they could dry it with their own body and their own energy and their mental strength. And so when like channeling your chi, you can achieve amazing things. And then your aura is your aura. So in Japanese, ki is chi. And so I put together ki aura. So it's the inner and
Ah, okay.
outer energy of your body and yourself.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, fine. Yeah. Do you meditate every day?
Not so much recently, at the beginning or when I was younger, I had some, anxiety at times and I'm like, what helps with this? And so I do some research and it's like, try meditating, Can't say I've completely gotten over it, but things are a lot better now and, I have peace in my life. So I try to meditate, but, for the
Yeah.
most,
We'll just get a wet towel, put it on top of you then.
yeah, exactly. Go sit in the, I'll have a little cheat code.
Yeah. Is it Northern California or Southern California?
Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you at the beginning. I'm in Encinitas, so
What's
northern
that?
San Diego.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, okay, fine, fine. Okay. Yeah, I've actually never been to California, so on my bucket list.
Oh, you gotta come. It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the taxes. Those aren't fun, but everything else is fun.
Yeah, taxes and rent. I know rent's very expensive
Exactly.
there too.
Property value and taxes are not fun in California, but other than that, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, I've heard it's nice, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. And I guess for you, so it sounds like, hey, you've grown a lot, which is amazing. Where do you see, Kiaura Eyewear in the next year and 5 years?
In the next year, we set projections to grow at 100%. I'm like, that's what I want to grow at. And so we unlocked TikTok Shop back in March and became the number one fashion accessory on the app within a month, which was just insane. And
Wow.
so we found our, groove with the advertising and also having some viral moments. And so we're planning on growing at 250% this year, which is just nuts.
Yeah.
But I think the goal, in the next 10 years is to become one of the biggest players in eyewear. Like, I wouldn't say that we're going to top Ray-Ban's revenue, but when we get to a point where we're significantly taking market share from other people and you start getting approached from other, conglomerates and stuff, at that point you're going to get offers to sell the company, but if we're cash flowing and we're doing well, why would we? you know,
Yeah, no, for sure.
it's
Now,
we'll see.
did you also bring on, since you said you learned a lot yourself, but did you bring on like a marketing person yourself, or you still been keeping that with you?
Yeah, so I manage it.
Hmm.
The marketing is kind of like my forte, but I don't do the daily optimizing with ads and
Hmm.
stuff. It's mainly all outsourced freelance work, which has been great too. And if you find the right people, then it's just
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
No, for sure. Well, and as you said, also just saving yourself time. Like if you don't have to focus, you can take 2 hours and let someone else do that, and you focus on other things or just have a nice life. That's a great thing.
Yeah, where I'm at now is mostly focusing on product development and just oversight. And so that's kind of been my dream. And, glad that things came together to the point where now I can just be creative and keep an eye on things. So,
Hey y'all, it's Dan Melnick, the CEO of Zing, and I wanted to share a special offer for all of our listeners. Right now, if you need software development services, we'll give you 2 weeks of a free trial. Do you need to update your website? Do you want to build a mobile app? Do you want to update something that you've been working on for a long time? We've worked in a high-level technologies like AI, machine learning, blockchain. So shoot me a text, 817-874-2208. Thank you.
Yeah. What are some of the, I guess, features of your products that maybe other eyewear don't have, or maybe you're developing new things that are coming out soon?
yeah, so I mean, our sunglasses have every feature that you would want in a pair of sunglasses. So, like a lot of $500 pairs of sunglasses have loose hinges. And so, over time you wear them for a month and you have to keep retightening them and then it gets loose again and you retighten them. So, we're using spring hinges that like snap in and snap open, shatter, scratch resistant, UV 400 polarized lenses. Every pair is bioacetate. And so those are more like the logical features of the sunglasses. And then you also have like the design features here on the side, which are just
Hmm.
small details, and then our signature logo here. So it's really a balance between, the brand, which is a lifestyle, and kind of a community that people are buying into, which is, owning a nice pair of sunglasses and having a more luxury look. So what I would say comparing these to other sunglasses is a lot of brands have one or two of these features, but we have every feature that you want.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll take a look into it.
Yeah.
And I guess for you also, I know you've learned a lot. You guys are growing a lot. I guess what would you say is your biggest challenge now as you're starting to scale, as you're scaling even more?
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy answer is inventory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so supply chain is really tough when you see growth that we've had. And so when you get, you overorder and then you end up selling out and you're like, damn, back to square one. And then you lose momentum in marketing because your ad
Mm.
spend has to get pulled back. And then, the eyeballs aren't seeing it. And so people aren't in the funnel. And so it's been really a big balancing act of knowing how much to order and then also, introducing new stuff. How much of that do you order? And so
Well, that's a good problem to have, not having enough
no,
of the
it is.
product.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pinching myself that that's our problem. It's a dream, I guess.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I'm sure a lot of people would love that problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fun.
No,
That's cool.
it's been
Awesome,
fun.
cool. Well,
Yeah.
I guess two things. Well, first thing maybe I think you mentioned before, but if you can just tell someone like a new aspiring entrepreneur one thing they want to get started, what should they do?
My biggest thing is find somebody that's already succeeding at the thing that you want to succeed at and ask them how they did it. And if you can build that skill in yourself of being able to network and then also like dropping your ego and not being arrogant, thinking that because 9 times out of 10, if you're not where that person is, then there's something they know that you need
Mm.
and that you have a deficiency at. And so I'm in the same boat too. It's like, how do I build a $10 million brand? I don't know yet. If I did, I'd be there, And so how can I reach out to people who are doing that and ask them what got them from where they were before to the 10, And so there's a skill set deficiency or avenues or perceptions and frameworks that I need to work on to get to that level. So I would just say, drop your ego and find somebody who's already doing what you want to be doing
Yeah,
and
it's
ask
great
them how to do it.
advice.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And then I guess, Parker, if you could maybe just tell people how they could find where to buy your products, and then also if they wanted to reach out to you, what would be the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah. So if you want to buy a pair of sunglasses, go to KiauraEyewear.com. That's KIAURA eyewear.com. And if you want to reach out to me personally, you can, probably the easiest way would be through the Kiaura Instagram, which is just, at Kiaura Eyewear. I'm the one who looks through all the DMs. I look at everything. So, if anything does come up, reach out. I'm happy to jump on a call or help you guys out. So yeah, just let me know.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much, Parker. I appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Pleasure
of
talking to you.
course. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate
Of
it.
course, definitely. You have a great day.
You as well. All right. Take
Thanks.
care.
Bye.
Bye.